There, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. And this is serious. I gotta read this title because I gotta make sure I don't skip over anybody. Alphas, thugs, chads, players, high value men. Which is it? Which is it? Because here's the thing. Everybody, you got different groups who say different groups of men at the top of the pyramid. Now, you say the alphas, right? You say the alphas, the men with the alpha traits, dominant leaders, all of that, right? And that's cool. You can see that. It's like, hey, you got to be alpha and everything. Okay. And some guys that you see as alpha, you can honestly say they're getting some play. You can say they're getting some women. All right. But then the alphas, they don't necessarily talk about how the alpha looks. Okay. That's cool. But people will insist on the alpha. People will even promote being alpha. All right. But then you got some other people, they say it's the thugs. The Pookie and Ray Rays, the bad boys, whatever they call them in whatever community. They're saying, okay, yeah, they getting all the women. They dominating and everything. But then that don't get into how they actually look or built or anything. Thugs look like thugs. But you got guys insisting they're the ones who get in the play. And as far as, and I'm just be real, I worked in the criminal justice system, been around real thugs. Most of them ain't gonna get a modeling contract. Jeremy Meeks is an exception. Because people use that as an example, but you got some thugs, some straight true to the game thugs. They got multiple baby mamas. And I've known some. Because, Rom knew people in different areas. These dudes win a modeling contract or a fitness model contract. Even Rom saying body game, they be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But they'll pistol whip somebody. But they getting women. But wait, are they the ones? And then you got the whole thing with Chads and the Chad and Tyrones and stuff. People say, men saying, oh, you gotta look like Chad. You got whole channels devoted to Chad, and loosely to Tyrone, which is the black version of Chad. Right? Say, hey, if you don't look like this, it's over for you. Focus scroll, it's like genetic determination and everything. And let's be real, if a guy look like that, you're gonna get some play. Right? But then you got some other guys, they the players. I'm going to call them the players because their whole thing is game. They got game. Now, people got different levels of game. Like you got some cats, their game is on some serious stuff. And part of that is psychologically, they know who they're dealing with. Now, if you really look at players, the guys running the game, speaking that game, spitting that game, right? A lot of times, they look average. But they got some type of game, some type of way to get into it. But if you really check some, they get into women. And then you got the latest thing, the high value man, the man with all that money and everything. And, that's kind of close to what I talk about the masked man in my book, Nice Guys and Players. The high value man, the masters of the universe and stuff. And now, I always say it with them, they still gotta have that, they gotta have power. Not just money, but they gotta have some power, some dominance and everything. And some guys say, well, you gotta be that to get women. So which is it? I'll tell you which one it is. All of them. Every single one of them gets something. See, here's the biggest problem. I'm seeing a lot of guys. They get caught into one camp and think that's it. They think that's it. Right? Even when, one thing, and I'm going to say this about myself. That's why I use the term select and non-select. And in fact, in a select group, even though I presented two general groups, Mr. Good Bars and the Masked Men, I could still break them down even further if I chose to. I can break them down. There's actually like, and I've done some videos talking about that, several types of good boys, several types of masked men and stuff. And now all I've talked about was their commonality, but then they still some differences. Like if you talk about the Mr. Good Boys, I've talked about the face men. I focus a lot on the body because that's the easiest thing. You can't, a face man, that's hard. That's hard. A man, that he pretty much got to be born that way. And even then, he still got to have a certain attitude, certain sex appeal. It also talked about guys I called, they could be some big dudes, but they just fuck whatever. And then one type of good boy I ain't talk about is what I would call just nasty dudes, nasty boys. They get women because they'll look at a woman and say, look, I'll eat that pussy. Because I knew a dude who was clinically obese. And he got all these, he was clinically obese and older. But he always got all these young girls. But because he tell them straight up he eat that pussy. And, you know, once he finished eating that shit, you know, he whip his shit out, lean that stomach on him and be tearing him up. Because I seen some of the women he dealt with. But that's a type. But that goes across the board. See, here's the thing. Yes, you get some women. See, here's the thing. And some people who have, I'm going to put a link in the description box to on-demand video about the personality types of women. And then some people know I've talked about the house of the women. I'm going to put links in the description box for anything that's dealing with that. And then I'm talking about different types of women and stuff on my Rom TV channel. So I'll put a general link for that. See, understand something. All of these guys get it because women are different. Women want different things. See, one of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking all women are alike. The only thing these women got in common is a vagina. And if you really understand women, if anybody who's really had sex with multiple women who actually looked at the woman's vagina, they will tell you all women don't even have the same type of vagina. You know, some of them got that labia like really out there, some don't. Some got that thing that's, you know, some might have some hair around there. It's like different shapes. Sometimes it could be shaded differently. It's so many little things with that. That's just in their vaginas, and their personalities are different. And then you got social class. You got I'll call it racial / cultural difference. In fact, I'll split that apart. And here's a reality nobody wants to talk about. You know, based on race and culture, you know, women gonna look for different things. Because men do it. Let me give you an example. And this is a racial thing. No, yes, I'm gonna go there. You know, for a lot of men who are white, the type of women that they hold up at the top of the pyramid might be like that slim woman with big breastises and just so ass. But then you get some brothers, some men with African descent. Oh, that woman better have that big old round badunk. And her face just need to be decent. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So if we got all these differences, women got it all. Use some common sense. So when go back over that list I said, you got some women, because of the position they in, they ain't so much concerned with how that man looks. Just as long as he in decent shape, but they looking, is he a leader? You know, they might, and it depends on what situation. They might be in a situation where, okay, like they could be, here's a great example. You get some women who are in certain Christian denominations where they don't have a problem looking to the man as the head. He got to be an alpha. He has to, they ain't gonna just get with him. He has to lead, you know, in most Muslim sects, the man has to lead. See, you got to think, I don't care what her biology is, her culture, her religious beliefs, her social class are going to influence it. So depending on what they got, where they at, they want that dominant leader. You know, they ain't no feminists trying to fight with the man or something. So they looking towards his leadership abilities. You know, if a man's like on some beta cooperative stuff, they like, no, the women want to totally submit. So they looking for the alpha. He He can look like some handsome Chad or Tyrone to him, but if he's not dominant, they walk away. All right? Oh, then if you look at the thug thing, you get some women who are in environments where it's a dog eat dog, it's vicious. Anybody who's been in those environments where you have a strong subculture of people in that men and women in that criminal element, shoot, they want that guy who got some roughness to him. They want that guy who will lay out a body, who be ready to fight, because then part of what they doing is they worried about protection. Like you got some women out here getting assaulted by men. They getting assaulted, they getting approached. Many women want that guy to go and walk up and put a bullet in the motherfucker's head. That's how it is. Many women want that. You know, they want that dude. They want that dude with that rough edge. And also, that rough edge can turn them on in the bedroom. They want that dude who gonna fuck them like they stole something. You know? When women are turned on by that, they want that roughness, that dominant guy, that guy who will look them in the eye and say, don't do this. In fact, say, bitch, you better get your shit right. And then if somebody stepped to that woman and disrespected the guy, walk up to the guy and put a bullet in him. No, seriously, they want that. Or at least lay out the body. Some women want that, but if you look at them, what environment are they in? What are they doing? You know? Like they might get turned on by that guy who's doing some extra legal shit. Well, I'll say illegal stuff, as long as he getting that money. But he might have a rough edge to him. In fact, some women, if the dude look too clean cut, he look too peaceful, they not turned on. And that's legit. That's in that environment. And then, of course, the Chads and Tyra. Yeah, there's some women who want a very, very handsome man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Not all women. But there are some. And he got to look like all of that. And I'm going to tell you what, part of that's a class thing. Because if you really take an honest look, you know, I'm just saying that Chad thing, that's more in the upper class thing. That's more upper class. Chad don't play well in the hood. Or a trailer park. He don't play well there. He better if he looking too clean cut, because I've met some Chads. If he looking too clean cut and he go in certain places, they're gonna look at him like, they're gonna be like, where his tats? You know, he need to grow some facial hair. Because that's just a reality. Or even the Tyrone thing. Now it's funny when they talk about the Tyrone thing, they put him in the hood and everything, but you got those upper class dudes as well in the black community. When you talk about call them bougie, college educated, all of that, you know, professional, they gotta look a certain way, but it don't work well with somebody in some other place, you know, or like in some strict religious communities, right? And then you got the players. Yeah, the players don't necessarily have those strong looks or anything. But if you really take an honest look at who the players getting, they're getting those women, they're getting the regular women too. That's what they getting, you know? And even then, they can tap into those women's needs. See, one thing about the player understands who he's dealing with. A true player reading the women. Understand that. He reading the women. He can find that opening. Even if she a dime, he'll find the opening and do it. He'll do it. And you got some women who respond to that. It depends on the woman's mentality, but she responds to that. And then let's get back to that high value man thing. Let's be real. You get some women, not all women, who want that man making that money and stuff. You know, who still got that edge. He still got to have a certain edge to him, as I said in last couple videos. He still got to have that edge. But they looking for it, they moving up. And then that's also a class thing too. If you get a woman who say she making money, she educated and everything, she making money, she making good money. If she still wants to get married, well, women by nature always want that man to be above her. So they're gonna want that. But that same woman, if she ran into some guy who's real handsome, that Chad or Tyrone, That same woman who chasing a high value man, she might be like, yeah, that's cool. You making money? What you doing? All right? What you doing? It depends. Now, maybe if he good enough, depending on the woman, yeah, she might cheat with him. Might. But then she might leave him to the side. They say, oh, no, he don't got nothing going for him. They'll look for the good-looking guy who's also high value, who's still got some sex appeal. But they looking at all that. Or definitely, they ain't going to mess with no thug or a player. They ain't going to mess with a thug or a player. And be only so with a true alpha. Because you got a lot of those women at a certain level, yeah, they want that man to have money and everything, but they still want their autonomy. So it's different things. That's the bottom line. Different women want different things. That's why I talk about a tribe. Figure out which women like what you're presenting. Because the reality is, let me use the Chad and Tyrone example again. I don't care who the guy is. There's some women who ain't going to think that guy's attractive. I don't care. But the guy shouldn't worry about it. He just need to deal with the women who find him attractive. And then, like I said about the thug thing, people think, oh, these women chasing thugs. There's some women who won't go near a thug. And I just gave those 5 examples. There's some women out there who like a nerdy guy. People don't think so. But depending on where you at, who you dealing with, that woman shoot, because she's just as nerdy. She got a comic book collection too. Every time I went to a local comic book store with my son Saturday, there was a couple women coming out of there, and they were with the men. They had their thick comics and everything. And these women, I was looking at, I was like, so everybody, and that's the thing. Everybody, there's no one universal thing. And see, guys need to get out of that. So, and this is why sometimes even people discussing it shouldn't debate it. It's like everybody got a different crew. There's some women who like men who got hair flowing. There's some women who like men who got shaved heads and everything. I keep this shaved. I could let it grow out, but the women in my tribe, they love it. They'll tell me I grow the hair too much, and they like, can you cut that? And then you got some other women, they're like, Rom, I can't mess with you. You need some hair. And I'm like, okay. You mess with who you mess with. I got a certain tribe. And everybody got that tribe. So you got to understand that. So which is it? All of them. It just depends on what group you're doing. All right? So that's all I got for today, y'all. I want y'all to really think on what I'm saying. Really think on it. And stop tripping just because somebody says something contradictory to what you believe. All right? Just stop tripping over it. So understand that. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.